What are you drinking tonight? Let's keep them flowing. Where do you come from? Where are you going? What are you feeling tonight? And what are you showing? Where do you come from? 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 Where are you going? What are you drinking tonight? Let's keep them flowing.
Yo. Woo.
Oh.
I just sneezed like crazy like 2 seconds ago. What's going on, everybody? Thanks for coming on in. Thanks, everybody, for coming and chilling. We're live, Cloud and Console, chatting
Yep.
everything Cloud Gaming. What's up, everybody? I'm joined, as always, by Nads. We're on episode 1602. Oh my
Is that
god,
right?
it's been so. No, I just make
We don't even know how many episodes we're at.
There was a while we kept counting, but those days have long gone. We're
Yeah.
gonna break down everything that's been going on in the cloud this week, as well as talking about the showcase, our thoughts and concerns, as well as there's some updates to some of our favorite games we want to break down.
Exactly.
So we're gonna get into all of that. What's up, everybody in chat? Though, come and hanging out with us. We got SPG in the chat. Yes, I could have used an alternate hater's perspective today. You left me hanging, bro, when I needed you. And then we got Wilson. Oh, he's throwing the shade on Rudigs. I see how it is. It's all right. It's all right. I'll take my hits. And then we got the Maker of Chaos making an appearance today. Thank you, good sir, for coming on by.
Nice.
Hope you're doing well this evening. Yes, but let's get into it as we do. What have you been gaming on this week? What's been going on?
Well, what was going on this week? We had the launch of the final shape for Destiny 2, so I've been playing a lot of that. I don't think I've played much else. I think we played Diver 2 on Monday, but that's pretty much it. I've just been grinding the final shape. Try to do the completion of the campaign on legend difficulty, and I also have been playing with you doing the legend difficulty, which we're almost done, which is great. And that's pretty much all I've played this week. But yeah, so far my first impression is that the story is very, very emotional. There's a lot happening. There's like some moment you're like, oh wow, okay. Zavala go crazy. He's just like feel like he's giving up on everything. But yeah, it's quite interesting what's happening. I was able to finish a campaign, and I got to the point where like I'm back at the old tower, but inside the pale heart, so inside the traveler, and then you have little mission there and there. just to get more aspect, more fragment for your prismatic subclass, and also you got some mission for new exotics, so that's quite interesting. But yeah, I've been just like try to do some little thing. I just started, but the boss fight at the end is quite interesting. I was struggling for a while until I figured out a way to survive, and then yeah. We're just gonna need to do it together. That's gonna be easy. Two people. We don't need to worry about like if you die, that's it. At least we got a token each, so that's quite easy. And also we all had the final sorry, the raid, world raid. No, what do they call it? First world raid for Salvation Edge, which started on Friday at noon EDT and finished today at noon EDT. So that for the contest mode, now people can jump in and just do the raid as normal. So that's probably something we're going to be doing at some point. So we're going to have a look at a time and date. But yeah, that's a lot happening, a lot of new stuff. It's quite exciting right now playing Destiny 2. So yeah. What about yourself? What have you been playing?
Well, yes, I took Saturday and we gamed out. It was actually raining for a lot of the day, and the
Oh
wife was
yeah.
out, so we got into it. Oh my gosh, we must have finished at least three-quarters of
We
the campaign.
we're basically at the end. I think there's two big part happening, which is
Yeah.
a mini boss before the final boss of the campaign. That's it. So from my playthrough, I noticed that. So yeah.
Other
'Cause-
than that, I've got the platinum and the extra trophies on Astrobot, so I'm really pumped for
I
the new
suck.
game coming out. I'm excited for, I guess, a new Super Mario 64 experience, bringing me back to that nostalgia, because I really feel like it has the same kind of feeling to it.
The same concept, right? So
Yeah,
it's like you jump around. It's a platformer, and then you got to collect different things. That's how you play it for a little bit.
yeah.
I was like, because you're mentioning the you're doing the CPU like level, and then like there was a song playing.
Yeah,
I was
the
like, I have
GPU was
the
singing to you.
GPU, yeah, and I
Yeah.
was listening to it. I was like, oh my god, they went very like in depth. But it made me think of like was a Daft Punk almost style, and with like the robotic sound, like singing and stuff like that. So that's pretty cool. It's kind of
And
their
then
Mario for Sony, right?
yeah, exactly. That's the route they're going. And then I finished Stellar Blade. Incredibly hard set of difficult bosses at the end. I should have got all my upgrades beforehand. If you're playing the game, definitely get all your upgrades before going to the end. But I had a blast. The difficulty level was there. Exciting, fast combat. Really cool stuff.
Hmm.
And then I would say the one thing about Destiny 2, which I felt, okay, combat, cool to see, prismatic stuff, it's nice to mix and match, and then even the grenades, you get two grenades in one.
Hmm.
But I would have liked to see more on the music end. They could have been
Oh
pumping like
yeah.
those scenes with like heavy orchestra. I just feel like it was a little bit quiet in some sense where they could have really had like that hard
Y-
hitting track
Yeah.
to really like get you motivated.
You pointed that out to me. I was like, oh yeah, I didn't notice. Usually they're very good with the music,
Yeah.
but it probably because they fired a composer, so that's probably why. But yeah, definitely they could have done a better part for that. But I noticed one thing. I noticed that their cinematic scene, you can see there's like probably a little bit of touch of Sony there because
Oh, big
some of
time.
the cinematic was like, oh my god, that's
Oh my. Yeah.
crazy.
Some scenes I'm like yelling. I'm like, no. Oh
Yeah.
my god, like it gets you there. It makes you rise. So
Yeah.
there's definite aspects in there, and that's pretty cool.
Mhm.
Um but we won't spend too much that on time on that. Let's jump straight into what they've updated on Destiny 2, because I know
Yeah.
you've got some updates to get into. Then we're going to jump into what's going on in GeForce now, and then we're breaking down the showcase.
Yes. I'm just gonna show some part of the gameplay in the background while I cover. So that was me playing. There was like some issue on the first day, but afterwards you can have an idea what's happening. But on the tweet, they're just mentioning about the Salvation Edge well first raid detail. So that was a tweet on Thursday. So you got to think that on Friday that's when the raid started. It's talking about the reward and for it's some upcoming event I will talk about. So they had some disabled item to make it harder, I guess. But as if you go on Twitch, you could watch it through Twitch Rival, and by watching for 2 hours at a time, you could get some nice emblems. So it was worth it to check out. But it was quite interesting to see all the people doing it. And like some of the team we've seen like completed other raid in the past, and then moving on, seeing who won. It was, I don't think it's anybody that was well known, but just so you know, Rudigs, one of the players, his name tag was Astro, so it's quite funny.
That is cool.
Yeah, I don't think they're from a specific clan or anything like that, but I could be wrong. It was quite interesting to see some player finishing it while everybody was stuck at the last encounter. But like, I want to show this nice jacket though. Replace. So here's what you can get at the jacket for completing the raid. Pretty nice. Like, I don't know how good it is. It looks like you can put patch on the side, but it looks like almost Photoshop there. I don't know.
It looks
But
decent for Canada. Look at that neck guard.
I know, right? It looks
Yeah.
like a winter coat. Maybe it's a raincoat, but I don't know. It looks like a some sort of raincoat. And there's this little bag. I don't know if it's like more a satchel, but
Oh,
it's
it's to
pretty cool to have
carry
a
your
belt.
grenades and throwing knives.
I
And
don't
then, how
know.
much resistance does the coat have?
I don't know. Maybe 10. But yeah, no, pretty cool. They have that. They have it. This is a pin you can get, and for sure another pin if you're collectible of that. And there's the belt for people winning the raid. That's the belt that's being shared for. I don't know. I think everybody get the belt, and you got the player's name there. So that's pretty cool. Everybody get one. That's a pretty nice thing to put in your back. The background of your stream or something. But one thing I noticed is like people were so tired. I was like, no. Here's some of the emblem you could have gained if you're watching Twitch Rival. So pretty little nice emblem, and also uh, people that was subscribing to any of the member that was part of Twitch Rival that was streaming for it. You could get that. Also, you get some emote with like little ghosts with popcorn. So it's pretty funny. All right, save the date. So they have Echo launches. So this week, they will have a Trial of Osiris on the 14th of June, Iron Banner first week on July 2nd, and Solstice begin on August 6th. The other thing they don't mention is that tomorrow at 10 a.m. EDT, they're gonna have the way forward for Bungie. So we probably gonna hear about Marathon, maybe hear about Destiny 3. So that would be quite interesting. But yeah, we'll should see. And here is the ornament that was designed. That was like almost 6 months ago. That was voted for. It's now available. I think you can buy it in a river store. So pretty cool. I like that. It's like a community member that did the cosmetic on it, and yeah, I love it. And that's a bunch of known issue. I just want to show something else. Talking about the raid. Yeah, this one. So that was like the trailer of the raid. Basically, that was quite exciting to watch. A lot of people were stuck on, I think, the second or third encounter. Is pretty crazy. And the boss at the end was the witness. And they're gonna spoil everything. You do fight her in the campaign, but she's also in the raid, so that's quite interesting. Um, I need to type something.
Oh, that's cool. You never seen that before, where you fight the raid boss is the same as the story campaign boss. So
I
that's
know,
different.
yeah, it's pretty.
I guess he's such a devastating bad guy that you really want to
I
have him
know,
on.
he is a bad guy, and that's
Hmm.
crazy. So the team that won, it's called Team Parabellum. So it's consisting of T-Rax, Astro, Bravo, Draka Shadow, Draka Shadow, Ham, and Jake. So those are the
Ham.
6 people. I know, like some people have like funny name, but yeah, that was
That's great.
pretty
That's cool. It's nice to get that W as #1.
Exactly.
Speed runners.
But like, yeah, I'm not able to do that. I'm too old for this type of shit.
I
Like,
hear ya.
I think they completed in, was it 9 hours or something like that? Almost
Wow.
10 hours, but they were playing nonstop. And I'm like, I went to bed, I got up in the morning, I was looking at it, and it was completed, but some people were still streaming their part. A lot of like big streamer for
Hey, Bliss.
Destiny 2 were like streaming, continue streaming. As you can see, everybody was struggling. So it was definitely a quite interesting time. But that's what's going on in Destiny 2. So make sure to tune in on Bungie on their YouTube, because we're gonna have that way forward. So I think it's almost at the same time as Ubisoft Forward, isn't it?
Yeah, I believe I saw something Maker posted in the Gaming and Tech News that they're going to do a reveal on what's next. And yes, it's June 10th at 8 a.m. PT. So I believe it's around the same time.
Yeah, June 10, 11 a.m. Yeah, so it's gonna be Destiny 2, the journey ahead. So I wonder if it's specific to Destiny 2, or we're gonna hear more about it. Yeah.
Yeah, and the
Hopefully
Ubisoft Forward will be at 3 p.m. Eastern, so it'll be much later than that.
That's good.
Yeah.
Easy enough. Awesome. But
All
that's
right.
pretty much it about Destiny 2. Moving on to some Divers 2, we got some news also. Coming out on June 13, we got the Viper Commandos Warbond, which is pretty cool. They're adding that. I wonder if they have like a video.
I noticed
they
that
did
there
this.
was a lot less equipment in this one, and I'm curious to see if the Warbond will actually be less super credits, because you only get 2 outfits, 2 weapons, so I was a little surprised to see that.
Yeah, that's. Oh my god, really? Enter
Listen,
date of birth.
you're not old enough.
That's not my real stuff.
By the way, did we coordinate on clothes? What's going on here? We're the black.
That black t-shirt? Yeah, I don't know. But here's a view of what you can get. So they start having pattern for your ship. So I guess for your mech, and also for your ship picking you up. And there's like I feel like a feel of Call of Duty, right? With that skeleton mask and stuff. You got
hear
new
that.
tape, new
He's got the
cosmetic.
beret.
Yeah, exactly.
That gun looks powerful.
Yeah, there's like a
nice
grenade
little
launch. No, it's a shotgun and cannon shotgun. I like that.
Wow, oh, it's devastating.
And there's throwing knife for sure. I
There's
don't
a
know
throwing knife.
how effective that's gonna be. It's a special throwable. Is that replacing the grenade?
Yeah,
So
it would have to.
I think they made it so you can go
Oh
very
wow, and
stealthy.
a new mech.
Yeah, no, it's just a cosmetic, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So That's what we have coming on June 13, which is in 4 days from now. So
Yep.
pretty cool. We have that, and as usual, they have like their big mission, their big what do you call that? Their big activity every month that the community need to achieve. And I think every time we log in, we get a bunch of medal, which is
Yeah,
great.
every week. Yeah, the sort of
And
like the weekly mission, kind of how like you have weekly bounties type of thing.
yeah,
The whole community's involved, and we kind of participate once a week.
exactly. But like it's been pretty good. They keep updating it. I think they're still having issue with the friends list. That's something we did notice. I think the last time we play, I was the one getting booted or something. I feel like it's a rotation within the team. There's always one person, something is happening, right?
Every time I log in, I try to re-add you as a friend, and it never works.
Yeah, like
One week it will.
exactly. I think it's a massive issue, but they will fix it eventually. It's gonna take time.
Oh, oh, that jumped right to it. I thought it was gonna put it on the side.
I know it, right?
It jumps right to it. And look
Like,
at this. I can maximize it. Oh, look at that. Or I can make it small. We're playing with a new feature, obviously, as we go live. But let's get into it. Here comes a new challenger, GeForce Now and NVIDIA. They introduced Street Fighter 6. Now, here's why I think that this is a bit more important than what we see on the surface is latency is always a massive concern when it comes to cloud gaming. But here they are putting a competition fighting game on the service, which is GeForce Now, and showing that their latency can hold up to
oh yeah.
competition levels. So this is cool to see. I hope that the fighting genre gets a lot of love coming into the cloud. And with games like Call of Duty being over 300 gigs, I mean, I feel an exponential growth in these games and their sizes, and we are going to need the cloud coming soon, or you won't be able to have
Yeah.
more than 3 games on console or PC without having to upgrade your savings. Because if this is the way going forward, the next Black Ops is going to be in the 500 to 600
Yeah,
gigabyte range.
Black Ops 6, it's gonna be massive. Well, you look at Destiny. When Destiny Final Shape dropped, they were like, "Hey, make sure you have
300.
that." Yeah, yeah. So there was a lot of space you needed. So yeah, it's almost like now if you have a PC or console, you can only have one game installed. That's what the direction they're going towards, right? And I think that's what Call of Duty kind of catch on. They're like, oh, let's just make our game massive so like people are obliged to play only our game. Any other game they can't install unless they uninstall Call of Duty. I don't know, but yeah. That's the
Hey, I
theory.
agree. I mean, cloud allows you to have a bigger roster of games on a click to play basis,
Yeah.
and GFN gives you it at that high quality. And now with X Defiant, one of the most popular shooters to date, the free to play, you can jump right into it. X Defiant in the cloud, free to play. And GFN has a free tier if you want to try it out. I'm hearing that the experience is much nicer now. You just watch an ad or two, and then you're into the game, which is
Oh,
pretty
that's
cool
good.
that they've done. But you only get an hour of playtime, so be wary of that.
Hmm, interesting.
And also, if you have PC Game Pass, it really ups your library. I know
Oh
personally, I'll
yeah.
go and check out my library, and it'll be flooded with games.
And
It's almost like back in the Stadia days when I had that huge click to play library of so many things.
Yep. No, it's crazy how many games they keep adding. And Xbox is or Microsoft is very big on selling any release to be released with Game Pass day one. So you're probably gonna see it at the same time on GeForce now, which is great.
Yeah, they've been doing that a lot with their big titles. Hellblade was one. I mean, we have now Halo Infinite there. Gears of War is on GeForce now. They put Starfield on there just a couple days after release, so really they're getting close to day and date GeForce Now, and I love to see it. Their little tweet was a hint of the Street Fighter release where they were like down over right
It's an
punch.
uppercut. It's an
Yeah.
uppercut, or is it an
No,
uppercut?
it's a down. It could be an uppercut,
Yeah,
but
an
you're not going all the
uppercut.
way up. Maybe it's the Hadouken.
Yeah, Uno. Yeah, yeah.
I think that's the Hadouken.
Yeah, that could be. Yeah, that's so funny. Probably I was thinking more towards. Yeah, I try to remember. I'm thinking more Mortal Kombat, I guess. Well, that's
All
pretty
right.
cool.
Well, that's what's going on GeForce Now this week. Be sure to be tuned in to Cloud and Console. We'll be getting you GeForce Now updates every single week. But that's what's happening. Be sure to check it out. And also, if you're into virtual photography, it is a fantastic place to be able to take pictures. Here they're focusing on Giraphone and his pictures, or their pictures. Sorry, I'm assuming it's a guy. But absolutely stunning. So if you're into VP, share this tab instead. Check out some of these pictures. Look at that landscape, like jaw-dropping. Fidelity is absolutely crazy, and this is a Plague Tale Requiem.
Yeah.
So pretty cool. Very nice, well done images here.
Nice.
All right. Well, I wanted to jump into what's been going on recently, and that is all these showcases we've been having this week. And I wanted to get your thoughts on what's been going on in showcases. And what? No.
Go ahead, you
We
check.
can let's share yours.
Yeah,
because then I can talk off of mine.
Yeah.
So go through them. So just play that big. So I wanted to get into, we had releases like Astrobot. Obviously, I've told you that I feel like that's like a Mario release. However, we've seen very little from publishing on PlayStation this end, and to get sort of this this experience alongside Lego, it's kind of like they're not playing to the adult side of the gamer. Like Astro is just like a lot of nostalgia and PlayStation gamership, and then Lego is obviously wacky and more on the kids side.
Yeah.
Concord we saw is a huge it's an Overwatch play, right?
Yeah,
You saw
it's an Overwatch.
5v5.
They had this amazing freaking cinematic trailer, and we're
Right.
like, oh, that's gonna be a good adventure game or something. And now it's like a 5v5, like freaking PvP type of gameplay, like Overwatch, Valorant, all those kind basically. But yeah.
And there's kind of where we end at, like what they published. After that, we get into Silent Hill 2, which is coming out later this year, and then they release God of War on PC with a remake of Until Dawn. They had some VR titles as well as Monster Hunter. But what these games follow through is now a trend of just games that are releasing on multi-plat, they're releasing on PC. So we're getting to a place where they're kind of under a PlayStation banner. However, they're kind of can be placed on a PC gaming front. They could have been placed at Summer Games Fest. So to me, we're at an odd place when it comes to giving these showcases, where today we had the Xbox showcase.
Yeah, exactly.
And there was 14 brand new titles released for PlayStation in that showcase. So there was more games released in the Xbox showcase today for PlayStation than there was in the PlayStation State of Play. And it almost boggles your mind. It's like, why is that the case? I feel like they're right now, they're just showing off which games they have marketing rights to. That's what we're seeing out of the showcase. And then when it comes down to that, are you really loyal to the marketing rights of what these people played, or are you loyal to where you want to play the games, where you feel most comfortable? You want to play it in the cloud because you don't want to have all this savings on your PC, or you want to play it to your PlayStation because you want to have the haptics experience, or you just want to isolate your gaming experience to a separate box.
Yeah, that's
Um,
just it. I think it's like try to make it available to everybody because, every console company, what they mention is that they don't make money when selling console, at least not anymore. Or I never made money selling console. It's always when they sell games. So, one of the way that Microsoft is doing is that they try to push it to everything, any kind of platform. So they're gonna be producing a lot of games and just pushing it out to all the platform. That's why now we got Sea of Thief on PlayStation and other game like this from Xbox to PlayStation. Uh, Maybe eventually we're gonna see PlayStation saying, "Yeah, let's put our game on Xbox." But I think the PlayStation is still like thinking like, no, we're not gonna do that yet. But eventually it's gonna come to that. I think eventually like we're not gonna have much of a competition between company because they're gonna be sharing all those game. If it's great, like look at Pal World when it dropped, like frig, I'm pretty like everybody was like, when's PlayStation getting Pal World? You know, it was a big thing because everybody want to get into that. And there's other game like this. As soon as they come out, they just get so popular that everybody wants to play it. So that means if the company is able to put it on all the platforms, then it's gonna be easier. But easier or better for them, but at the same time it's not necessarily easy because every console, every company has their own way to make the game, right? So
yeah, and here I feel that they are getting into this weird situation where they are creating games and at the same time they're buying marketing rights, but the marketing rights aren't the same as the console exclusives, so you're buying rights to display games that are going to be played on choices that gamers have already made beforehand. So it's an odd situation to buy the rights to the forest but not the trees type of situation.
yeah.
But I will say that I feel like the lightness from the PlayStation State of Play, because I will say there is an hour difference in the showcase length. And there was obviously a number of games in quantity that you saw more on the Xbox showcase than you did on the PlayStation showcase. My theory is that they have spent everything they possibly have on the Grand Theft Auto marketing rights, because to me, that will be the console mover.
Oh yeah.
If you have your rights attached to Grand Theft Auto 6, I believe that will move more consoles than the other ones, aside from Call of Duty. I'm not sure what the future of Call of Duty will do so. But I would feel like Grand Theft Auto will move those PS4 users into the next generation. And there are so many, and they're going to be looking to make that jump. And we'll see if Xbox users make that jump as well with all this exclusivity talk sort of going the other way. I think it'll be a big move. And do you think that marketing rights for Grand Theft Auto 6 will be that gravitational?
I think every company is gonna try to get the right to be exclusive, but like if Rockstar is not Rockstar, is it Rockstar? No, yeah, Rockstar, right? It make Grand Theft Auto. If
Yeah.
they're wise, they're gonna go on all platforms because
It will go on all platforms, but for 1 year it will not be on PC. It'll only be on Xbox and PlayStation.
It doesn't make much sense, I think.
No, it doesn't. And it's quite obvious that it could be launched on PC at the exact same time. But I honestly feel like it's a market stranglehold play.
Yeah, I don't know why, but anyway.
Yeah. I feel as if the marketing rights for that console will really push it. But maybe Call of Duty, and we'll push those players. It'll really be a tug of war to see what game really moves people to different consoles. If it does at all, people may stay to their exact same consoles.
Hmm. Yeah, who knows? I know that I haven't bought a console in so long,
Right.
and now with GeForce Now, I'm just satisfied with that. Like now we're getting close to 2,000 games, so it's like, what am I missing on a console exclusivity, right? I'm like, I can wait. It's gonna come out on PC. I can play at this point. And it's just like now, some of the games that are great to play, you just wait and they come on PC. Like you're not missing on anything really. So that's how I see it. Live service are something slightly different because if you look at live service, they constantly updating, putting new thing. I feel now it's like a live service. You almost need to jump in, not necessarily from the start, but quite early to not miss anything. Looking at Fortnite, like playing with you, it's just like, oh, okay, I can do this now. I don't know. Like there's like the Lego format. There's the car format, which is I'm looking for the name of that game, but there's also like we were playing and there was the not Twisted Metal kind of thing, and we're talking about this. We're looking at those
The
guys.
Twisted Metal sort of update to Fortnite where we're driving around blowing each other up.
And then
Absolutely.
like Callie's like constantly playing that Guitar Hero format of Fortnite. It's just
right.
like it's just crazy, right? And then there's so much happening there. It's like you could be sucked into one specific game the entire time if you really want to, but there's just so many game out there that's like it's hard to do that. Like you look at Destiny 2, I'm sucked into it, but like I feel like sometimes I need to step back and try out a game, right? So yeah.
And I mean, so many games are making that transition. Like you said, a lot of people are going to want to be playing Assassin's Creed Shadow. They're going to be wanting to play this new Star Wars that we're seeing here. And those options are all available on PC. And if you know about the cloud, you have access to it. You can really run a lot of these titles via GeForce Now and have optimal experiences without taxing your hardware. It's really, like Nads is saying, like almost a freeing option to have consciously, because you're not worried about whether your console is going to get this game or whether your console is going to get that game. You're disconnected from that. You just get to play the games you like, and also you don't have to pay for an online subscription. So that cloud service kind of takes that over, and you can really just sort of be free with your hardware.
You play an online subscription, but it's more a subscription to play GeForce Now. You just move like that Xbox subscription or PlayStation subscription, right? So
definitely. But it's crazy that Black Myth Wukong, I saw the minimum specs on the game. You're looking at 3060 with ray tracing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, a 3060. So I feel like we're moving towards a place where these consoles aren't going to be able to handle the games that we're creating for them.
That's just it. Like,
well, not me personally, but developers.
If you look at, it's always been a restriction for a publisher to make a game, let's say, to be able to work with those specific console, those specific specs, so they can run on there. So sometime, if you remember E3, they will showcase the gameplay and it was amazing, and then they release it on the console with shit because they had to lower the graphics down or stuff like that, right? So and sometimes they're not necessarily playing the gameplay as it run on something, as we see like most of the game show there. But yeah, nowadays it's so hard to catch up. Like all the graphic cards, I think NVIDIA is probably gonna release the Series 5000 soon or something, and then like everything's gonna go towards that. Now the Series 3000, that you can probably buy for cheaper now, it's probably going to be outdated, you know? So it's just crazy.
So TPG says, "Am I the only one that thinks people are giving the Xbox Showcase too high of a score?" What I'm saying here is that I feel like the Xbox Showcase was what we're saying is a battle of marketing rights, because 14 of the games talked about today are releases on PlayStation. So it's kind of like owning the forest and not the trees. Everyone's going to get to breathe the same oxygen. You just showed it off. And I
And,
feel like the people who made the choices on their consoles are not changing their decisions based on the showcases we saw today. They're just going to get excited for the games.
and what's one of the biggest thing you've seen happening during the Xbox showcase? After every game, it wasn't like only on Xbox. It was like available on day one on Game Pass, PC, and Game Pass, Xbox Game Pass. They're more selling that than try to sell their console. They're like, if you have either or, you can play it on day one. So it's kind of annoying because at the end of every freaking game preview, they're showing that, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, it just, yeah, and that's where we are. They're gonna try to sell a service. Looking at Sony, they have their PlayStation Plus or the PS Plus, software you can download on your PC and play some game from your PC from PlayStation. You can play in the cloud or download them. So like that's their service. Maybe they're gonna go more towards that. But the moment they're more aiming into come and buy our console because our console is amazing type of thing, right? So
Right, they're along the lines of we need to sell single player games on individual sales, where
yeah.
like Microsoft, like you said, is looking to sell their service Game Pass, and they're saying, "Hey, come over here." But to me, every time I look at Game Pass, I'm like, "Oh my gosh!" Like to get the ultimate version, that's like $300 a year,
Yeah.
Canadian.
Well, look at Omni Game they're getting every week, right? Yes, it
Well, not
like
every
come
week, but
out,
yeah.
but they might have like a freaking AI that do statistics or something and saying like those are the game last play on Game Pass. So they're like, okay, we're gonna remove those 5 game, but we're gonna add those 5 new game that just came out, right? Or something like that. But yeah, pretty crazy. I think on the marketing side, everybody is doing their own way, and that's how I feel like everybody's reaching out a different way to get as many people, right?
Right. And I mean, it's just about if you're a gamer, chances are the average gamer is not paying attention to all of these showcases. It's a lower percentage of gamers. So the people who are talking about these analysts are just going to be paying attention to the games that they are going to be putting onto their personal roster. We see a game like Wukong, that's definitely one I'm going to be adding to my gameplay list. Nads, for instance, he's all about Destiny, loves Final Shape. That's the game on his roster list. So you got to pay attention, look out for the games that you're going to be putting on your list. And I think get excited for that at the end of the day. Follow those companies. For me, I like to follow certain companies that I feel are going to make games that are for my enjoyment. And most of the time, it's hit or miss whether they're on the console you like or have or own, and you find a way to play the games you like. But for me, these two showcases, there's a lot that you can easily say when Xbox has a 2-hour showcase and PlayStation has a 1-hour state of play. They're just different in length. PlayStation didn't make the massive acquisitions that Microsoft made in the past year, and that was shown in what you saw in the showcase through Action, through Blizzard, through Call of Duty, and that's undeniable. So whether or not the experiment of Game Pass works will be yet to see. I feel like all these streaming services are going through an experimental phase, and we'll see. PlayStation is kind of like the conservatives in the battle. They're sticking to their, we're going to sell single player games. It's worked for us in the past. We're going to keep moving down that line forward, and hopefully it works for them. I think we're seeing two different business models attack the market, and we'll see sort of at the end of 5 years, I think, which company ends up bending to the other company's will, or maybe they'll coexist.
I just have a feeling like Xbox is kind of like moving away from that console war and just kind of give up. Yep, PlayStation, you're better at it, but we'll still like release games on everything because we can. So, and Nintendo's sitting in the back and being like, we're still gonna survive because we're the NL freaking master basically, because they went in that direction and that was a good idea for them. So
Yeah. Nintendo's actually got a showcase coming up, I believe, in a couple weeks. Purple was mentioning on her show. So I have to get prepped for that. Although Nintendo doesn't always show me all the games, I feel like, again, it's like a small
yeah,
percentage of the games that I'm interested in a Nintendo showcase.
we're
But
probably gonna see a lot of the same game that we saw during the Summer Fest, during Ubisoft tomorrow, like Xbox, because like, or like yeah, Xbox to some game come on from Xbox come on the Switch, but like mostly their main one, like anything related with their IP or update on Smash Brothers and stuff like that. Or like random game that we don't know anything about because it's so Japanese. Or like if you're a big fan of Monster Hunter World, it's probably gonna be on the Switch too, right? So
yeah, Monster Hunter Wilds.
oh, it's
Obviously,
wild,
see,
right? Yeah.
that's one that PlayStation wanted to secure the rights for, the marketing rights. I feel like they were being very strategic in securing their marketing rights. It could be different business moves moving forward. They just exchanged CEOs, and I feel like we're just seeing businesses operate differently because I feel like marketing rights and console exclusivities hold very different weights to them. And I feel like the only weights that I would give to marketing rights would be one, Call of Duty, and two, Grand Theft Auto. And I feel like those are the two big heavy hitters that where it counts when it comes to marketing rights. There could be other ones that hit pretty hard as well.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
just in my sphere, I feel like those ones are heavy. And I'm surprised. Like, why wouldn't Destiny 2 be shown off on the state of play? Like, they could have bumped up
They
their
could have
state of
put
play,
their
added an extra 5 minutes just to say, hey, we're coming out a week later. Like, I just don't understand that aspect.
they could have just showed the final shape trailer and say like,
Yeah.
say, hey, we own those people now. See what they came up with, right?
Yeah.
Or maybe put like a 5-minute video of the marathon. Maybe Sony is like, this is what we have going on, but we're not gonna show you what's coming up because maybe they don't want to anticipate what's gonna happen, right? Look at when we're watching the summer showcase, how like negative we were pretty every game.
Oh my
Maybe they didn't
God.
want that, right? So
It was a negative stream of people saying stuff, that's for sure. And
Yeah.
then I thought the same energy was going to come to the Xbox show, but no, I was mistaken. I was like, we were all playing musical chairs, and I was outside gardening. That's how I felt.
Well, the Xbox were showing like stuff that was like not that crazy interested. I'm not. I used to play Call of Duty. I'm not a big fan of it anymore. I feel like it's the same thing over and over. That's my perspective. But like, and then like they kind of had every year they release one. So it's like you can jump on the train for 1 year just to play, and then for me, I'm done for a while. But there was like other game that was out there that I'm quite interested about, like Fable. They've been
Yeah.
talking about that game for I don't know how long. My wife is a big fan of Fable 1 and 2. I guess there was another name for that. The second one was terrible because there's issue with the save. But anyway, like the new one is looking quite interesting. And the what's the other one? I want to say Onward, but it's not Onward. The one that
Avowed?
Yeah, Vow. That's the other one that looked like a Bethesda like game, like a
Yes.
Skyrim,
Yeah.
because it's Obsidian making it, which Obsidian made the Fallout New Vegas. So it's quite funny to see them in there, and there's like for sure Bethesda announcing the new Doom that's going back in time, I guess, and there's also
The shield
the
mechanic looks like the next evolution of Doom, so I like to see that.
Did he have a
It looks
hook
like they were
before or
evolving it.
something like that? In one of them, you had a hook to drag people towards them and shoot them with the
Like a
like shotgun.
grappling hook? I don't
Yeah,
remember.
yeah.
Usually, I thought he just boosted forward.
Okay. I could be wrong then. But yeah, and the other game that was out there from Bethesda was an update for Starfield, and also ESO being 10 years of Golden Road. Always good to see. But like I say, I feel like most of the game they showcase that Microsoft showcase were all company they bought this year. So Bethesda, Blizzard, and Activision, which is quite funny. And then there's also a Square Enix game they show at some point. I don't remember. Oh, it's the Indiana Jones. Indiana Jones is made by Square Enix.
Is it?
Yeah.
Indiana Jones? No, I think the Square Enix game was something else.
Oh, shit.
The people who made Wolfenstein made Indiana Jones.
So that's Bethesda. Wolfenstein is made by Bethesda.
Machine Gun something. Machine.
Oh, yeah, the Gundam type of style. Okay. And also there was a
Machine Games under Bethesda. Yeah, thank you, Maker.
Oh, there you go. That's the one. Maybe I was like skipping.
No, Square Enix did some like Immortal 34 or something like that.
Yeah.
Order 34. It was like, I believe, some turn-based, realistic looking game. Looked like adventure / turn-based combat. I believe that's the game you're referring to.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Yeah.
And the other game they mentioned at the end is a Gears of War that is a prelude. It's called E-Day. So
Oh, they did Life is Strange. 33 game
Yeah.
was someone different. Oh, okay.
Okay.
So
Well,
Square Enix did the Life is Strange game.
so there you go. But I know there's like a lot. There is showing a lot. Yeah, that was a lot. I feel like I was more interested in what Xbox showed than the Summer Game Fest. I don't know. The Summer Game Fest, a lot of it was all over the place, coming from different places. It was
Here we go.
also
Square Enix, yeah, and Deck 9 games.
It was also something they were showing. It was like try to show indie game, giving like opportunity for a donation to like was it the Onslaught or something? Not Onslaught. But like it was a donating a thing to support indie games developer to create games. So it was quite interesting.
Well, the big thing I think at Summer Games Fest as well was the drop of the DLC for Alan Wake 2.
Yeah, I think that was
so that was a pretty big one for them to get.
Yeah,
I will say.
that was pretty cool. But yeah.
Also, this Street Fighter game that we're looking at now, they did have some drops. It was a 2-hour long show, so you got to think that some things did happen to it, despite our commentary on it.
Yeah, no, it's totally worth to check out. Skip ahead to the part you like. There's definitely some interesting game out there. Some game that
The Lego game was revealed at the
Yeah.
Summer Games Fest. We saw Quidditch revealed at the Summer's Games Fest. Civilization 7.
Yeah.
Some people are really huge into that. The Dragon Ball fans had a lot to look into for Sparking Zero. There was some cool things. Phantom Blade Zero, we got more gameplay and a look at that, as well as Black Myth Wukong. Sonic X Shadows Generations is another one they talked about. Hyperlight Breaker was something they showed off. Delta Force, which is something
Yeah.
like the list does go on at Summer
Mhm.
Games Fest. Like they did show off some cool things that I thought deserve some praise that I would definitely get into.
And then like to go back with the thing about Sony, they're doing a state of play every so often. So the fact that we had the Summer Game Fest, some sort of E3 split up everywhere, and Sony's do the state of play. The state of play they usually do, it's the same thing. Like they just show like what's up to come in the next couple of months. So we slowly getting like information as we go. Where like Xbox was like they do that once a year, so that's why they like here's everything we like gonna do next year. So that's
Yeah,
the
but
idea.
we did get a PlayStation showcase last year, which was something very similar to what Xbox did this year. But I think they just made different marketing decisions, or
Yeah.
maybe they blew all their budget on GTA 6. I don't know. I'm not sitting there. That's my best
maybe
prediction.
maybe they're
But
gonna do
we're
a game fest, but it's gonna be later in the year, right? Maybe they're
maybe
gonna do
they're
it before
calling for
Christmas.
another state of play in September. Those are the
Yeah,
rumors right now.
exactly. They're just like thinking, hey, where do we sell most of our game or most of our console during Christmas time? All right, let's do our fucking game fest just before Christmas to get all the kids excited to buy a new console and stuff like that. You know, it could be the marketing direction. Cause like, why are you doing the summertime? Cause it's nice out. People are gonna stay outside, not
Yeah,
be inside
JD.
playing.
Exactly what I'm saying here. It's
Yeah.
the state of play. They decided not to do a showcase, the PlayStation showcase, which would be an amalgamation of third party and first party games. That didn't happen this year for PlayStation. It may be yet to
Exactly.
come, like Nads is saying.
Mhm.
Or my theory is they foregoed that, and their marketing budget for GTA 6 was just out of this world
Yeah, that's
because they want to transition those PS4 players over.
yeah.
That's my theory.
That makes sense. And and maybe we're gonna get like an announcement of the next console coming up soon. Who knows, right? Because
Yeah,
how long ago did PlayStation 5 came out? Is it almost 2 years now?
2020.
Oh, that's 4 years.
Yeah,
Oh, they due for a new console.
I'd say around the 8 year mark.
Yeah,
Some people are calling for it in 06 or 26, but I guess time will tell.
that's
But
probably right.
let's jump into our clips of the week. Do you have a clip of the week? I don't know if you.
I'll have to look. Give me a sec for that.
No worries. I got mine lined up to go. Let's answer some more. So probably won't get a showcase till the end of the year or
Yeah.
next. I'm thinking PlayStation doesn't even do a showcase this year. What we saw from PlayStation State of Play, I would equate to a developer's direct, but they're not even the same. They're kind of different marketing strategies. And both these companies are using different marketing strategies. And to say one's better than the other, I mean, I guess you would have to look at overall sales, and that was the only signifier of who's doing better or worse in their marketing strategy. Um, how many people are on your subscription? How many people bought your console? Those are the differentiating factors to which strategy works best. The scoreboard, right?
Yeah.
But let's jump into our clips of the week. I appreciate everyone coming out to the show this week and hanging out with us. It's been cool listening to the guys in the black tees talk about games. Let's share my screen. I've been playing a little Ghost of Tsushima. And I've gotten to a point where I feel like I'm pretty OP in terms of being untouched. And so this is how I'm now approaching situations. Okay, why did it do? There we go. So I'm coming up to the situation in the middle of a quest. Trying to get rid of the volume here. I can now like freeze time. Every time I hit a headshot, my concentration bar reloads. It's just insane. So I can take out, nutshot. I can take out everyone without a helmet instantly, without any time passing. It's ridiculous.
Nice.
Um,
I like that. Just like using your bow and arrow.
I am 100% an archer. It's crazy. And
Yeah.
then I activate this superpower, which
Oh
just
yeah.
allows me to kill
Instant
3
kill.
people instantly without any hesitation.
That's crazy.
Camp's almost done, right? One guy left. One guy left. Where is he? Nope, I think that's it. That's how I clear out a camp. It's just
That's funny.
it's a place I've gotten to, a crazy flow state, and being able to take out these camps.
Mm-hmm. Cool. I'll show my clip of the week. It's basically when I get to commune and get the prismatic, which is a pretty nice cutscene that we see in Destiny 2. So let's go with it. You can hear a little bit of the sound there. And yeah, the as you can see, if you're a player of Destiny 1, this is in the tower where like the war table used to be. And then after this, you just get into the prismatic basically cutscene showing how it works and everything. It's very confusing for new people, I think, because now you can do so much with prismatic. It's just adding totally a new thing, right? So pretty cool. If you haven't played a final shape, it's probably worth it to just try it. Just to play the story like Rudig says. But yeah, there's gonna be more coming out. We got episode instead of season, and we got episode Echo coming up. I think it's gonna be a closure of all Destiny 2 story or something. I'm not exactly sure how long the Destiny 2 will keep going after this. So far, they have planned for the next year to have 3 more episodes. And after this, I don't know. That's what we're gonna find out tomorrow at 11 a.m. So sweet.
Yep, the future of Destiny.
Mm-hmm.
They will be transitioning to third-person Souls-like. You'll be given a sword only, and it will be.
Yeah, who knows, right? Like, what the hell they gonna come up with? I know they've been working on Marathon. They want to make an extraction shooter. Is it gonna go in that direction? Who knows? Maybe they're gonna go to something else. So, but we'll shall see. Maybe we're gonna get some update. That's the thing. Sony owned Bungie. Why didn't like showcase like some of the game they're working on?
Yeah.
Maybe they're keeping as a secret for the new year.
Exactly. I mean, I think they missed out on telling people about Ghost 2. They could have flashed a bit more on Wolverine. They could have talked about more of what Haven Studios was doing. They could have talked about what Naughty Dog is doing. They could have talked about what Blue Point. But, you know, they didn't. And it's a marketing move. And at the end of the day, Wilson, I think the greatest measure of what marketing strategy works, and I think that's all we're seeing through these showcases, is who spent what money where on marketing rights, is the scoreboard. And the scoreboard is how many subscribers do you have on your service, and how many consoles have you sold.
True. At the end of the day, if they're able to make them make the player happy
Yeah.
to stay on their console and provide. Like, don't get me wrong, like both side or all the side, they provide a lot of good games. So nowadays there's so many games coming out, it's just hard to keep going.
But our official recommendation on this podcast is get GeForce Now.
Yeah.
All right, it works on your TV, your phone, any type of computer. Man, you can play the greatest games on a 4000 series GPU. It's definitely the experience you should be getting into for gaming.
You can play on your phone easily.
Yeah, separate. yeah, separate yourself from the need to use your own hardware, and use Nvidia's hardware, because you know they're the second. They just hit $3 trillion worth of company worth. So amazing for NVIDIA. Check out their cloud gaming.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
Awesome.
Nads, is it time to head out?
Yeah, it's pretty much that time, right?
Thanks everybody for hanging out with us today. Take care, be kind, and use the cloud.
And we'll see you guys next week. And again, this week we got some more Diver on Monday. Tuesday we're gonna get back into some Baldur's Gate 3 to get like at the end of it, and stay in touch. We got again some Fortnite on Wednesday. I'm pretty sure that's what you're gonna play. And stay tuned into the channel for us playing some games. And
maybe we should do a raid on Thursday.
That'd be fun. A good idea. Yeah, we can look into that.
All right, people. Take care, and we'll see you next week. And again, thanks everyone for coming and hanging out with us.
Yeah. See you all.
Do I even need to? I die with the season leaves. I glide with the season breeze. True, my mind so easily spooked. I ride just to be the me who finds hype super decently smooth. Nice type, but as sick as beats.